All right, here's a view from our hotel room here in beautiful Fairbanks, Alaska. We're on this road trip with a two-game set with the Nanooks, and here in my hotel room is the voice of the Falcons, Mr. Everett Fitzhugh. Everett, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Very, very good.
Good.
So, kind of take us through your pregame ritual here. What are you doing?
Well, basically what I'll do is prior to each game, I'll wake up about 3:45. As you know, I take a very long pregame nap, usually starting at about 2 o'clock. And we'll just go through their roster, go over their roster cards. We'll look at their stats, some of their big storylines. Obviously, for Bowling Green, you've been doing it long enough. You kind of get to know a lot of the stuff, talking to the coaches, talking to you, obviously. But for the visiting team, you don't really know that much about them. So what I'll do is about 2 hours before each game, 2 or 3 hours before each game, I'll just look at their notes, write down some key facts, get my pregame all set up. So when I get to the rink, I know what I'm going to say. I'll write everything down once I'm there, as I've already written some stuff down here, my little pregame paragraph, everything that I say on the air, I kind of write it down. A little corny, but I stole it from a couple other broadcasters and it seemed to work out pretty well for them. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. And right now we're just going over some of Alaska's stats, looking at some of thetheir top guys, some of their top players, so we can get ready for this evening.
So, this is your third season as the voice of the Falcons. What's the toughest part of getting ready for a game?
The toughest part before was trying to juggle class and this. I mean, obviously this is a full-time job, and luckily you only have games Friday and Saturday. But when you add in a full class schedule, you want to maybe try to be social, go home if you can every now and then. So kind of just putting hockey and school and social life into a balance and figuring out where those fit. Now that I'm graduated, the toughest part is trying to keep up with everything, because I used to be able to go to all the press conferences. I used to be around on campus a lot more, so if I had a question, I can go into Burge's office, I can go into your office, or back then it was Gasser's office, talk to him about some stuff. But now, since I'm usually up in Detroit or around home most of the week, it's a little difficult to be able to keep up with, what's going on this week, how's this player doing, how they look in practice. I can't watch practice anymore as much as I would like to. So a lot of it is just based off of the press conferences that you do online and just reading up a lot of the notes.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break now, but we'll come back and we'll get into the smaller details of getting ready for a broadcast for BGSU Ice Hockey. Everett, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, once again, we're here with the voice of the Falcons, Everett Fitzhugh, and I figured, Everett, I had to get you doing this because I've been on the road with you all year, and this seems to be kind of a tradition for you, regardless of the condition of your shirt, even if it's nice and straight and clean. I see you iron your shirts before every single game. Just kind of explain to the Falcon fans what it means to you as far as the look, even though it is on radio.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's very important, because broadcasting, you work in sports, you work in media, it's a very professional industry. So regardless of if you're a sideline reporter, if you're a play-by-play, if you're running stats, if you're a writer, I mean, if you're going to be in the press box, me personally, I feel like you have to present yourself in a professional way. And for me, that's suit and tie, always. I mean, never open collar, never jeans, never khakis. I always go full suit and tie. It's damn well with a three-piece suit. And people always joke, Brian Fisher in particular always joke, you're on radio, why do you have to look so good? Well, you never know who you're going to run into. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of different coaches. I've run into a lot of commissioners, NHL players, Bowling Green alum, people like that. And again, it makes yourself feel good. Everyone says dress for success, so that's what I'm doing. And again, I like my shirts to be very crisp, and that's kind of, my girlfriend gets on me about it all the time. My mom gets on me about it all the time. I got it from my mom, actually. And no matter how straight I think my shirt is, it's never straight enough for her.
So Everett, you made mention to all those coaches and members of the hockey world that you've met over the years. What's the one person you could say maybe sticks out most in your mind?
Probably to me it's Red Berenson, just because of who he is. I mean, Red Berenson is Michigan hockey, and a lot of people know that I went to high school up in Ann Arbor. I went to a lot of Michigan hockey games when I was a kid. I guess I consider myself a little bit of a Michigan fan. Not anymore, though. I'm a Bowling Green guy now, so just want to clarify that. But no, like just the legend that is Red Berenson. Everyone always says, he's won this many national championships, and he's, been an NHL player. And just the first time I interviewed him, I remember I was just terrified, because you walk into his office, or you walk down there, he's all business. He's all go, all the time. I think I've seen him smile maybe twice. And the first time that I ever interviewed him in person, we had just beaten Michigan up at their place, and he wasn't a very happy camper. So I had to go down there and interviewed him. It ended up being not a bad interview with him, but Just probably Red Berenson. This year, Andy Murray. We talked to Andy Murray with Western Michigan, and just over 300 wins at the NHL level. He's done everything in hockey except for coach U.S. college hockey. So that was kind of a big deal for me too, getting to talk to a former NHL coach, someone who's had such success.
All right. Well, next segment we'll do is kind of walking down and taking that bus over to the rink, even though it's not very far away.
Yeah.
Here in Alaska, it's definitely necessary. It's cold enough outside. Everett, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. What's up, guys? Welcome downstairs at the hotel now. We're getting ready to go. It's about 4:30 local time. Our bus leaves about 15 minutes, so you can see some of the guys right now already down here ready to go waiting for the bus outside. When we're on the road, generally we'll leave the hotel between 15 and 20 minutes before 5 o'clock, so we'll get to the rink about 5, and then the guys will have a solid hour and a half, 2 hours to prepare before the game.
How's it going, man?
Alright guys, we're sitting here on the bus right now, headed over to the rink. As you can see, we're at about 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's already almost pitch black outside right now. As you can probably hear in the background, not much talking going on. Pretty quiet, a lot of guys in the back just reflecting, getting ready for the night's game. I got Johnny Enright sitting next to me, Rusty Hafner behind me, and just getting ready for tonight's contest. And it's about a 5-minute ride over to the rink. So a lot of wilderness, a lot of trees, a lot of ice and snow and cold, and it's about 25 below right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet before I get in trouble, and we'll talk to you here in a little bit.
All right, here we are walking into the rink. As you can see, the breath in the air. There's a couple of guys waiting outside. I'm just walking in. Here we are at the Carlson Center here in Fairbanks, Alaska, home of the Nanooks. Pretty nice building. As soon as we get inside, be able to film a little bit more. We'll show you the kind of the inside of the building. So here's the inside of the Carlson Center. Empty house as of right now, obviously, a couple hours before game time. There's the voice himself walking up. See, there's the press box right there. So that's where we're headed. See you in a bit. All right, we're up here in the press box with Everett Fitzhugh. Everett, if you could, kind of walk us through your pre-game ritual, your pre-game setup, if you could.
All right, well, we're about 2 hours before game time, and whether we're at home or on the road, I like to be at the rink 2 hours before game time. Gives me a lot of opportunity to get coaches' interviews, get set up. This is also one of the very few times that I'm at the rink that I can actually kind of calm down and go over what I'm going to say. So right now we're actually hooking up our broadcasting deck, which is the Matrix by Comrex. And basically it's pretty simple to set up. I won't bore you with all the details, but we'll plug it in. A couple power cords in the back. So we'll just hook this in right on the side there. Got two broadcasters on, myself and the man holding the camera, Mr. Enright. So we'll pop in our splitter to make sure that we can accommodate two headsets, because without it, we'd only be able to get the one. Unfortunately, this doesn't really allow us for much use of a crowd mic. We can, but it's just really hard to finagle with. So we'll put one in the splitter, which is where you talk out of, and then we'll put one in the back, and this is kind of what allows you to hear what's going on in the background. So got Johnny's all set up there, and we'll grab mine. Again, same thing. Just pop it right in. One for your mic, and then one for the actual headset, which is good. And got a phone cord in here somewhere. Use a regular hardline phone, so a little old. A lot of places will use wireless technology, but we still use the hardline phone line. So we'll plug it in the back on the side, right next to where the power goes. And then in the back of this, we'll hook it up, our phone line, inside of their phone jack, so we can call in. When we're at home, what we'll do is we'll call the radio station from the rink. So we'll actually dial their number from the rink. But when we're on the road, they have to call us, because a lot of places don't have long distance. So in about an hour or so, whoever's producing back in Bowling Green, I'll text him the phone number of our phone line. They'll dial us in, and we'll be all set to go.
All right, Everett, thank you so much. Next segment we'll do is kind of getting ready, setting up the notes, and kind of telling people what we do to get ready as far as content for the broadcast.
Absolutely, sounds good. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back out to the rink. Right now we're going to do a little pregame write-up before each game. I like to write out everything that I talk about. You can see here I got like a little pregame, a little paragraph that I always read. Like I said earlier, I know it's a little, maybe a bit corny, but it helps me stay on track. So I have that opening paragraph. And then what we'll do is we'll divide everything up into 3 different segments. We have an intro segment, which is about 5 minutes long, and we'll talk about 2 Bowling Green points and 1 visiting point. So today, we're obviously going to discuss the weekend against Ohio State as our first point, and then we'll talk about the effect of the layoff with the bye week last week, and how that may affect players. We're going to talk about Brett Moeller tonight as well, as he's out for the rest of the year with that shoulder injury. And then we'll go talk 1 point for Alaska. That's going to be their goaltending tonight. Scott Grenham getting a night off, so they're going to send Steve Thompson in for them. Then we'll go to a break. We'll come back. We'll do a Bowling Green segment first. We'll take those first 2 points, Ohio State and the bye week, and then we're going to just expand on those further. And then we'll add in a 3rd point tonight. It's going to be just battling back from that layoff, from that layover, and also Brett Moeller. Again, we'll talk more about him. Then we'll go to our Coach's Corner. I just got done doing about a 6-minute pregame, pre-recorded interview with Coach Bergeron. We talked about the last weekend against Ohio State, Brett Moeller, the last series against Alaska. We'll go to a break. We'll come back. We'll preview Alaska. We'll talk in depth about them. Every Saturday in the CCHA, so tomorrow night, we're going to get a coach's interview from Dallas Ferguson, their head coach. And then we'll come back, we'll do keys to the game. We'll do a CCHA scoreboard. We're the late game tonight, so everything's going to be all done. And then we'll get ready to go into the broadcast, which will start here about 7:05 local time, 11:05 back in Bowling Green. So, like I said, not that hard in the beginning, but it's just making sure that you have all your points written out, making sure you know exactly what you're going to talk about so you can minimize your mistakes, your stumbling, stuff like that.
Everett, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Peltona is there. They're swinging off over the near side half wall. Knocked down there by Chad Sumption. Sumption on the near side, winning the neutral zone. He'll feed this one ahead. Andrew Wallace. Wallace can't hold on to it. It's going to roll right on the net. Andrew Hammond will stop it. They'll it off over the near side. Blue one. They'll do it out. Into the neutral zone. Quickly, no shot back in. Alaska will go out for a wholesale change. 6:14. Left here in the 3rd period. Falcons still have that 3-0 lead. Hammonds get this one all the way down the ice as Michael Quinn will regroup inside of his own zone. He'll fire all the way over. The blue line is going to O'Connor over the Falcons. O'Connor giving chances and feed, not just Perry. They go near side.